This is the Spartan Body Mind Podcast. My name is Seth Winterhalter. We are here to help you become Spartan fit, both in your body and your mind. If you're overweight, if you're out of shape, if you're underweight, if you're trying to build muscle, trying to build a physique, wherever you're at in life, we want to help you become Spartan fit. Why? Because you deserve to enjoy life. And enjoying life means being fit so that you can be mobile, so that you can have the strength and the confidence to be in any situation, to experience any situation, right? Do not allow being out of shape hold you back from experiencing all that life has to offer. Today on the podcast, we're talking about lacking knowledge. I hear this, man, I just don't know what to do. And so what do you do when you're lacking knowledge? We want to help in that. One of the ways that we've built to help with that is the Spartan Program. You can check out the spartanprogram.com where we're helping people become fit, become active, and build habits with their activity, with their nutrition, with their recovery and their rest. And so if that's of interest to you, you're looking for help in how to become fit and robust in your physical and mental life, we'd love to help with that. Go to the spartanprogram.com. So what do we do when we lack knowledge? I want to talk about just a few things today, because I think this can be overwhelming, right? And that's what we wanted to help with. We want to try to make our fitness simple, because it really is simple. It's not as complex as it might feel or as it may seem. So what do we do when we're lacking knowledge, especially in these areas? Let's just talk about nutrition. Nutrition can be overwhelming, right? Calories, what's a calorie? I'm not quite sure. Like, are calories bad or calories good? What do macros mean, right? Macronutrients, you got proteins and carbs and fats, and I don't understand it. I was told I have to have 50 grams of protein per meal. I weighed my fish 50 grams. It was like famine. It was like, if I weigh my fish, is that how many protein grams? I mean, there's all these things that can be complex if we make them complex, but once we understand them, it's much easier to make good food choices. And that doesn't mean that you have to eat just salad. In fact, I would never eat salad. I'm not a salad eater. You want to know why? Because it doesn't do a whole lot for you. A lot of better choices. And the problem with most salads is that you baptize it with dressing. So it becomes really unhealthy. It becomes worse than that hamburger you could have and should have eaten. So nutrition, what do we do if we lack knowledge with nutrition, with food choices, with ingredients? What do we do? Well, we learn, right? And this is why it's nice to have a coach sometimes to help us walk us through some of those words and those terms that are getting thrown around. So that's kind of, you'll go to YouTube, you'll go to wherever, Google, and there'll be fitness experts giving information, but they're giving information. It's called the problem of knowledge. The problem of knowledge is this, is that the more you know about something, the more complex you usually make it. And even if you try to become simple, if you're a level 9 or a 10 on something, your simplicity of that is usually a 4, 5, or 6. Most people are at a 1 or a 2. Right? And so you have to be real intentional to bring those things down to be able to help people. I have the same problem. I feel that that can be an issue for me, especially when it comes to nutrition with calories and macros. I have to really boil things down and go, okay, the simplest form is this. And so for you, if you're lacking knowledge when it comes to food, let me just help you. The simplest form is this: eat more protein than anything else. Make sure you have protein with every meal. Eggs, great source of protein. Eat eggs in the morning. If you don't like eggs, or if you can't eat eggs that often, put protein powder in your oatmeal, put it in your cream of rice, make a smoothie in the morning. There are easy ways to get and again, most protein nowadays is really good flavored. It tastes good, it dissolves. I remember just 10 years ago, protein was horrible. It was clumpy, it all tasted like just the worst. Now you have so many options. I use Cutler Nutrition. That's Jay Cutler, who was a Mr. Olympian for 4 times, a bodybuilder. His line is, I think it just dissolves. I've never had a clump issue with anything. The flavors are on point. I use peanut butter. It's not an overwhelming flavor. That's what's nice about it. Sometimes it's so overwhelming, it's like dessertish, and I'm not really a desserts guy, and it's just too much. His flavors are more light, and so they're nuanced. It's there and it's present, but it's not overwhelming. And so I use peanut butter like a fiend. I put it every morning in my cream of rice. I take 2 shakes or 2 scoops with just water. I don't even use, people, I got to use milk. I use water and it tastes, I think, phenomenal. So there are options there. So get your protein in and drink water. Drink a gallon of water a day. I'm telling you, if you prioritize protein, make sure you have a good amount, right? 4 to 5 ounces of protein at every meal, and drink a gallon of water a day, I'm telling you, you'd be a lot healthier. You'd solve a lot of problems. You'd be more satiated. You wouldn't be snacking as much. Your body would be much happier because you'd be much more hydrated instead of dehydrated. And so again, just break it down to the simplicity. If you want more, let's chat. We can talk about macros. We can talk about calories. We can talk about you individually and your body. But to start with, just again, keep things simple. Same thing with training, right? If you're a beginner, training and what you need to know about training is a lot less. If you're intermediate to advanced, you need to start learning a little bit more, right? Things like mind-muscle connection, things like the way you lay out a workout plan as far as what exercises to do first, what exercises to do last, and again, those may change depending on your goals, what you're trying to aim for, what you've been doing, what your current plan is. And so again, that's why it's nice to have some help sometimes. But it doesn't mean you have to have a coach. Doesn't mean you have to surround yourself with people at the gym that know what they're doing. You can find helps, right? There are people at the gym, hopefully, that can help you. The key is you don't want to be overwhelmed, right? And that's where when you go into a gym, sometimes it can be overwhelming because there's just almost too much. It's like the Cheesecake Factory. You ever go to the Cheesecake Factory and you open up the menu and you're just like, I'm just done already. I'm not hungry anymore because there's just too many options. It's like, I don't like the Cheesecake Factory because of that. It's just there's too many options from too many different places. And so to me, it's like none of the food can be good here because no one specializes in anything, right? It just concerns me. I'll just have cheesecake. The gym can be like that. It can be overwhelming if there are too many options. So how do you sort through that? Same thing with maybe you're working out from home. Well, my house didn't come with a gym. Where do I get started? What are the options? What are even the choices? And you go to a Walmart or a Target and you go down there, exercise aisle, and you're just like, okay, well, there's a lot of bouncy balls and a lot of this is just overwhelming. So that's where, lack of knowledge can sometimes lead to overwhelm and be the paralyzing. Sometimes that can be the paralyzation that's keeping you from moving forward. So how can you find resources? And hopefully you're here and hopefully we're helping. That's where with training, the easiest thing you can do to start out is get you a set of bands. Get you a set of resistant bands, workout bands. And there are plenty. If you need videos, hit me up. Go to SethWinterhalter.com. Go to any of reach out to me, send me a DM on any of the Facebook, Instagram, etc. And I'll send you some videos. I have some a saved playlist on my YouTube page of some resistant band workouts that you can do at home, you can do in a hotel, you can do wherever. And just start doing something using resistance training. Most people are, I just got to start running. Stop it. There's nothing wrong with running in itself. It is just the worst way to get physically fit. The worst. Maybe there's another way that's worse. I'll have to chew on that. I'm just going to say that it's the worst. And it's where most people default. I got to do cardio. Stop it. What you need to do is build muscle. And you're not going to build muscle by running. You're going to build muscle by training muscles in your body through resistance training, through lifting weight or creating tension. And resistance bands are a great way to start with tension without the fear of, and the complexity of using weights quite yet. So everyone can start there. Again, you can use YouTube, you can use Google. There's so much information. It can almost be overwhelming. That's where the problem of lacking knowledge can also be from an overwhelm of knowledge. You've listened to a lot and now you're confused because it seems like everyone's contradictory. Nothing makes sense. And so I just want to encourage you again, this is why having a coach is really helpful. And people are like, I got in a conversation the other day, online coaching's stupid. And I'm just like, okay, I think that's the stupidest thing I've heard. Here's the thing, what's the difference between in-person and online? It isn't in person. What magic are they doing to you? Does your in-person coaching come with a body rub? I'm just not, I've never, whether I'm in a room with you or in a Zoom room with you, I'm not sure that the information changes. Like I can see you, we're talking, that is so odd to me. Now I get if you're going to go to the gym and you want me to like physically train you, but even then, like you can take a video of anything in your gym, or you can take a video of you working out, and I can tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. And again, I don't want to dog on trainers. I've been to a lot of gyms, and it's always interesting to me that most of the trainers I meet are out of shape. I would never want to look like them or lift like them. So why would I want to be trained by them? The ability to be trained by, I think, some much better, like online training gives us access to actually a lot better people, a lot higher, right? Like I look like I can get trained by a professional bodybuilder right now through online training who lives in Canada, who lives on the East Coast. Man, that sounds a lot more intriguing to me than going to my local 24-hour fitness and hoping someone there knows what they're doing. And again, I looked at getting certified with some of the online training. And again, it's not bad. Those things, you know me, I have multiple degrees from colleges and institutions. I will never poo-poo on education. I just also know, because I'm highly educated, that education is not always needed for specific things. And there's some education that's just basically pointless. It's basically just someone has money as a monopoly on a certification program that is now known as is worthwhile, even though it's a bunch of gobbledygook. Again, I'm sure there's something of value in it. It just wasn't right. I'm not interested in spending money on letters after my name when I've already done the hard work. And that's where you can do the hard work as well. You can get on the YouTubes, get on the Googles. You can reach out to coaches. You can have a coach. You can learn and grow by experiencing it. So I just want to encourage you, when you're lacking knowledge, the key is to learn and to apply and to seek help and to get after it, right? Don't let the overwhelm of knowledge paralyze you. Don't let conflicting knowledge then paralyze you to not taking a step. Here's the beauty when it comes to nutrition and training. Nutrition's very simple. If you eat too much, you're going to gain weight. If you eat too little, you're going to slow your metabolism down. And here's the beauty. You can know the difference by being mindful of what you're eating and tracking and seeing, is my weight going up? Is my weight going down? How am I feeling? Am I hungry often? If I'm hungry really often, am I leading to snacking? Am I right? Just assess yourself. The best form of knowledge is just assessment. Assess how you're doing, assess what you're doing, and assess if it's good or bad, and make changes, right? So here are two things to leave you with when it comes to lacking knowledge. I heard this quote, and this applies to a lot of things, but maybe it's helpful. There are three things. There's quality, there's time, and there's cost. Quality, time, and cost. You can only have two at a time. If I want quality, so let's say I want a house built, and I want that house to be of the highest quality, and I want the time to be as short as possible. I want to move in as soon as possible. Guess what? I can't have cost too. That is going to cost me a pretty penny. But let's say, I want to be more mindful of the cost, but I want that house done as quickly as possible. Guess what's going to suffer? The quality. Okay, well, I want quality, but I also have to be careful of the cost. Okay, you're not going to have time then. It's going to take you a long time to move into that house because you're going to have to save up the money to get the quality. Does that make sense? Quality, time, and cost. You can only have two. So if you want to get into shape, and you want to get into shape in a healthy way, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you, right? Probably coaching, oversight, development. It's going to cost you. If you don't care how long it takes you, then guess what? You're going to be able to have good quality. It's just going to take you time. Right, in each of those things, and I just think there are a lot of people who want it fast and who don't want to spend. They'll spend some money, and this is why those programs like I don't know what it's called, Optavia or something, or all those schemes to lose weight. The problem is they wreck your metabolism. I'm dealing with clients now who have been on those programs who have not. They've eaten so low of calorie, and then so not only do you eat way too low of calories, but you eat a lot of like ground up, basically astronaut camping food. And then when you start eating normal food again, you gain crazy weight. And you're like, but I'm eating healthy. How am I losing weight? Because your metabolism is so screwed up. Stop doing those programs, right? Can I just encourage you? And I have friends that do coaching in it. And again, I get it. Like, it's kind of this catch-22. Would I rather have obese people losing weight on a program like that? I guess, because it's really unhealthy to be overweight. But here's the problem. You're doing something just as unhealthy to get into, but you're not even getting into shape, because none of those people are in shape. I've seen some pictures. I've yet to meet anyone in person who has been on that program who has actually gotten into better shape. You all just look skinny fat. You have no muscle because you're not training. You're just totally starving yourself, basically. So I don't know. I'd love to meet someone who has used that program, and that program the way it's intended to actually get into real healthy shape. Would I rather have you that than overweight? Probably. Probably I'm going to go with that. So if you have to do that, it's the same thing with surgeries, like the lap band surgeries. Would I rather have you use something like that instead of being really unhealthy and overweight? Yes. Do I think that you need that? Absolutely not. You just need a plan. You need a path, and you need a people. You need people. A lot of those people are alone. They don't have the people in their life to help them make the good decisions, to give them the discipline, to, right, what we're talking about, help them with their knowledge. And it's not just knowledge they need to learn. It's that they need to cut out the clutter, and they need to stick to something. And so we want to help with that. Again, we want to inspire you. I don't even like talking about because I don't want to poop on anything. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer and I don't want to be known for what I'm against. I want to be known for what I'm for. And what I'm for is people getting healthy. But I do deeply care that you get healthy in the best way possible. And so I'd encourage you, if you're looking to do that, check out the SpartanProgram.com, where we give you a plan. We give you a path, 90 days, and we give you a people to do that with. We believe it's important for people to have a community that is rowing together in like-minded goals. And so that's what we're doing. If it interests you, check it out, thespartanprogram.com. Until next time.